Hi, it's Chris from Epix Systems. This is the first in a series of short videos all about the maintenance scheduling side of our software. So this is all about how to get a maintenance schedule into the RACSAMS software. So creating the schedule from scratch and scheduling up the assets for planned maintenance visits throughout the year. For this demonstration today, I'll be using our demo system, and in our demo system things are captioned underneath the create menu as maintenance schedule. So we'll be creating a maintenance schedule. Of course, that may be known as something slightly different in your system. It could be classed as a PPM, for example. The same principle applies. This is a planned maintenance visit. So under create, I'm going to press maintenance schedule. So similar to entering a normal job into the system, you could go straight for the site if you knew where you wanted to put this particular maintenance schedule, or you can complete it by going through by entering the client first. So I'm going to do it for this client. It's defaulted the client branch because there is only one for here. Obviously if there were multiple you'd have to choose that here, and you can then choose the site and obviously the contract that you're going to put this on. So I'm going to choose our planned maintenance contract, and the site I'm going to choose is this one here. Now any previously scheduled up work or anything like that will show over here, and also we've got the option to enter dates that we want this to run. So if this is a 12-month planned maintenance schedule from today's date, then it will default today and it will put 12 months in. Of course you can overtype this with whatever date ranges you wish, and it will automatically then set the start and end to be those months. So let's do that now. So let's say, for example, on this one here, we'd like to do it from the 1st of April, and then we'll say we'd like to do this from, I don't know, let's do the end of April of the following year. There. So that's going to run for 12 months from April. At this stage, we then press continue. And this takes us into the maintenance schedule plan itself, where you can plan which assets are going to be serviced on which months or which dates, if you like. So first of all, worth pointing out is that the schedule is running from April and ends at the end of March, so for the 12 months from the start date that we chose on the previous screen. All the assets that are listed here in this list are ones which have been confirmed into the system as assets that are present on this site. And they've also been confirmed as having a number of visits per year. And the number of visits per year, as well as being linked to the contract that we're looking at, are what controls whether or not they appear on this maintenance schedule. So if there are some assets on this site that are not listed, they could well be held in a list at the bottom here under other assets. And these are shown here because they've either, well in this case, they've certainly not got a number of visits per year set, but also they could well not be linked against the right contract. They might not be confirmed in, but usually it's the visits per year that you've missed. So you would need to provide a number of visits per year if you did want to include these in this plan. And you could do that by clicking the edit pencil for the individual assets and editing them from this page here. But I will show you a separate video on how to do that and how to confirm assets into the system. So back to the top. The green ticks and the green shading in the boxes here indicate when the visit will be planned for, so when the maintenance job will take place. And the reason we've got different numbers for different assets is all because of the visits per year. So this top asset here, the walk-in freezer, has only got one visit per year. So what we've done is we've plotted that for the first month here. If we go down here to the third one in the list, this one has 2. So the cold room has 2 visits, so all we've done is we've spaced those out equally over 6 months apart. And then of course we've done the same for the ones that have got 4, and likewise 3, and so on. Of course we've estimated when these start based upon the start month. If you want to change that, you can do on an individual asset basis, but you can also do it for all of them. So first of all, you can see here that they're all scheduled for their first visit in April. If you click here where the green tick is, that will remove that visit, and you could put it in May if you wanted to. Unticking it and then ticking it back there. Or if you said that you wanted a mix of a few, you could click here to take the green away from there, and you could put it back in, say here. So this is all very flexible, that you could tweak this however you see fit and schedule them up however you like. Clicking the reset button will put everything back to this view here, and clicking remove all will remove everything. So if I just press reset, there you go, back to where we were. Once you're done and you're happy you've made all the changes you need to, press the continue to carry on. Now the screen you're looking at now, this is an optional screen. You don't have to have this switched on, but if you do have it switched on, it's something that's set at system option level, so we at Epix would have to put this on for you or remove it if you don't want it. But to explain what it does, here we can see all the different jobs that will be created as a result of pursuing with this maintenance schedule. So the very first one here was the site service for April, and then we've got July, August and so on. And the purpose of this screen is to allow us to make changes to each of those jobs. So in its simplest form, we could edit the job description. So at the moment, this particular job, as it's sent down to the engineers on the mobile app, will be called in the job description site service. So you could overtype that with some more information if you wished. So say for example, if you were doing a coil clean visit, you could simply call this site service for April, and you could include the words coil clean if you wanted to. The other thing this does is you can provide an estimated time of completion for the maintenance visit. So if the operative is due to be there all day, you could of course change the number of minutes to be reflective of that. The next column along, of course, is the trade. So we automatically assume the maintenance trade for these jobs. However, again, if you're going to split, say, different visits or different jobs for different times of the year depending on what the assets are, so if you've got a mix of, say, heating and cooling assets and you need to send a different type of engineer to different jobs, you could of course change the trade type using the drop down list here. Similarly, we've also got the contract. So if you have got differences in the jobs, you could also put them on different contracts. Now this demo system is only set up to have the one contract at the moment, but you could have many. You could have ones for filter cleans, you could have ones for major service, ones for minor service. So you could specify different contracts for different things. So I'm just going to very quickly run down here and complete these all with a ppm. So once we've done, press continue. Now this screen is all about setting a billing schedule if you wish to do so for this maintenance. You can of course invoice the jobs off the individual jobs as and when you complete them, and a lot of our customers do like to do that because it gives them the flexibility of being able to cost the jobs up and write them up at that moment, and you can have a bit more control over what's gone on the invoice. But you can also set a maintenance schedule. So to do this, you'd probably put in your billing reference if there is one, and choose when you want it to begin and what the total is for this maintenance. So if this was a planned maintenance for 12 months, whatever your annual cost to the customer is, you would put in here. And if you choose annually, then there will be only the one billing schedule shown. If you change this here, say quarterly, you'll end up with 4. And what that will do is it will divide the bill amount equally, and then obviously adding the little extra on at the end here. And you could create billing references for each of these. And what that'll do is that will give you a invoicing job against this maintenance schedule, so that you could then very quickly generate an invoice against a particular time of the schedule. So I'm going to press continue at this point. And the next page this takes you to is the issue job page. So if you've been issuing jobs out using this screen, you'll know what this means. And what this is doing is this is sending out the first job. So it's assuming that as you've just created the schedule that you'd like to give out the first job now to an engineer, so it's scheduled up, ready to go. If you don't want to do that, you could just press cancel or X out of here using this button here. But if you did want to give this to an engineer, again, all you're doing is you're using this screen to simply give that job out to somebody. So I'm just going to do that now, and I should give it to this guy for 8 o'clock in the morning. And I shall press continue. And this then takes us into the service plan sheet. So in terms of getting a maintenance schedule into the system, that's now done. So we've been through the wizard where we've confirmed the client and the site and the contract. We've also set the visits per year for the different assets and when we'd like to attend. And we've set up a maintenance invoicing schedule and also given out the first job to an engineer. In terms of what this screen does and what the buttons do here, please see part 2 to this video. But for now, getting a maintenance schedule into the system is complete. So if you've got any questions about anything you've just seen, then don't hesitate to give us a shout.